Hey folks, how you doing? Papa Joe here. I want to address you brothers and sisters of the Lord. I had a good Bible study tonight, and came away with some pretty good insight, actually. Don't mind me, I'm trying to go back here a little bit. Coming. Give me 1 minute. I know I should already had this looked up. There's a Facebook study group called Studying the Word. I supposed to do one of my video posts in there on Wednesday nights. Last couple months, I ain't been doing too good. I ain't been posting that regular. Been doing my Bible studies on here, my readings. Last couple months, I ain't been doing too good at it. Been missing it. Tonight, the studying was doing the check on you. You know, yourself. You doing the check on you. And it was a little reality check for me. Thankfully, the Lord has touched me and trying to get me back on my path of sharing the Word, studying the Word. You know, I don't know how many times tonight. There was only 3 of us that was actually in that Bible study, but the way it works in that group is somebody does a Bible study every night, and the rest of us, if I couldn't have made it tonight, it wouldn't have been a big deal for me to read it tomorrow or whenever and go in and leave comments and whatnot, and somebody will come back and touch base on them or not. You know, but we share our thoughts, our opinions, our beliefs, and no one gets rowdy, no one gets mean, there ain't no criticizing. You know, now you may be corrected if it is not biblically correct. Someone might give their opinion if it differs from yours. But that's all a part of studying. That's all a part of us as a group sharing our thoughts and our feelings. And tonight there was a few comments made that was basically the same thing that I have been teaching that needed to be taught to me again. So I guess we could say I need a refresher course. And I reckon I got one. What it boils down to, tonight's study, that struck home with me, the message that struck home with me, is that this walk with Jesus, this walk with the Lord that we walk, it is a walk you have to walk by yourself. And you've heard me say that in different words, but you've heard me say that. Every day out here is a learning experience. Pretty much every moment, as one individual said. And every day classroom is open, and you have one true teacher, Jesus. And we need to be talking, praying, listening, and studying with him. Of late, I've fallen short on pretty much all of those. I have allowed myself to be distracted. As one individual says, if you got stuff in your life, it was in a different study, but in the same group. He said, if you got stuff in your life that is taking you away from the Lord, you need to get rid of it. You need to get yourself back on track. I found myself commenting in there. I commented to us as a we, such as one of them that struck me. I don't know why I said it, but it struck a nerve with me when I did say it, when I found myself writing it out. And that's the walk as a Christian is not an easy walk. And if you find that what you're doing is easy, then you might want to check the path that you're on. Papa Joe, are you listening? It was one of them moments. Because of late, I reckon I ain't been listening. I reckon I need to check the path that I'm on. I reckon I might want to get back on the right path. I have enjoyed doing these YouTube videos, the Bible studies, the reading with y'all. Now I'll grant you, most of my Bible readings and stuff, they have the lowest views on my channel. And I was getting into how many views am I getting? How many likes am I getting? How many am I? Is it really supposed to be about I? When I started this YouTube channel, I dedicated it to the Lord. I gave Him all the glory. But being of flesh, it came back around to I. And that's wrong. It's still His. It's still His glory. Why am I trying to steal His glory? I am not the one that brings you folks to this channel. I am not the one that put out the word, the good news. All I can do is spread it, share it, try to quote it, try to read it, try to give you my opinion of it. And even with that, I need help. And we have one teacher. We touched on the basis that although you might have man to help you with the word, you only have one true teacher. And whatever man teaches you or tells you, you need to check with the main teacher. I've been falling short. I found my path was getting pretty easy. My walk was. I was getting too comfortable in it. So I needed to check my path. And here of late, someone has been helping me to check my path. And as I've been attempting to get back on the right path, someone else has been throwing in roadblocks. This morning I read you a couple chapters in Acts. I quite enjoyed it. I really did. I enjoy reading the Bible, which is something I thought I would never say. And I enjoyed it before I started doing YouTubes. It can be a very addictive book. It really can. But you have to slow down a little bit and not read it as a book, and read it as the Word of God. And this YouTube has helped me to slow down. And in me trying to talk to y'all about what we just read, it helps me to understand it better. One of God's little creatures just flew in. I have said numerous times that when we get to glory and we are being held accountable for our lives, the good Lord ain't going to ask what man taught you. The good Lord's going to ask you, what did I teach you? What did you learn from me? I gave you all of this available tools to learn. What did you learn? That's going to be a hard question to answer, ain't it? You know, as one of the fellers said, many are called, few are chosen. You want to be one of the chosen ones. To be a chosen one, we need to do our job. And yes, Jesus gave us a job. We need to do our job. We need to love one another like we love ourselves. And I have found myself of late talking some real trash talk to some of the cars around me. It could have been you. I don't know. But it wasn't right. It wasn't right. To love me is to hate the earth, to hate the world. What Jesus told us. And I find myself at times living that hatred for the world. And it ain't that I hate the people. I just hate as the world where it's going. The greed, the hatred, the anger, all of the nonsense, all of the bad. I made a quote in there that I think that we was put on earth, and I heard this from another teacher, from another preacher in a church I had attended during a conversation I had with him. And he said that he thought we was put on earth to learn to hate sin. Because sin ain't good. God hates sin. Sin cannot be allowed to be in heaven because God hates sin. So we need to be down here learning what sin is according to the Father and learn to hate it ourselves. Sometimes I take that to an extra inning. I get a little carried away. I have found that with some of the people that I talk to, my language is backslided. I don't like that. And even though I know it and I catch myself in it, I'm still doing it. Why? And I'm not going to fall back on the, well, we're human. Well, we're man. Well, we sin. We can't help but sin, but do we have to do it on purpose? And no, I'm not going to say that if you do a sin on purpose, that makes it even a worse sin. Because according to the Bible, a sin is a sin is a sin is a sin. There is no greater or lesser sin. A sin is a sin. I know a lot of people disagree with that, and that's fine. Disagree with it, that's fine. It's a matter of what it means to you. And to me, what I'm doing ain't right, and I'll be held accountable for it. I have to correct myself. I have to bring myself in check. I have to get back on the right path. A sin is missing the mark. A sin is missing the mark of what God wanted you to do. And I'm missing it. I don't like that. I need to get myself back on track. Lord, what else was I going to say? There's something right there on the tip of my tongue. Help me out with it. I haven't even been doing the praying and talking to God that I usually do. I had I'll call it a visit. No, they weren't sitting in here with me. I didn't have ghosts and spirits riding around in my truck. But a friend of mine, two of them, old Pork Chop, you've heard me talk about him, and his mama, and Pork Chop's uncle, my mentor. They all been on my mind a lot lately, the last day or two. Different stuff popping up on Facebook, showing them to me, making me think about them. My mentor, he was one of the most I don't know what I would call it. I never met a man that walked the walk that he walked. He walked, breathed, slept, ate, dreamed. Everything in his life was about God, about Jesus. I never met the likes in my life. He was a very good example. He was a very good mentor. His sister-in-law, who is now passed, which also happens to be my buddy Pork Chop's mother, she was a woman of the cloth. She was a Christian sister. Pork Chop was doing his best to be a Christian man, to walk the right walk. And then there was me in the mix. Why are those the three that are visiting me so hard? You think they're trying to help me get back on path? I think maybe so. Whether it's them or whether it's God using it as a lesson. But remember, every day is a lesson. Every moment, every thought, everything you do should be a lesson. So is he using people that I know and putting those thoughts in my head to try to get me on the straight and narrow again? Could be. Have you checked your walk lately? Are you still on the right path? Are you talking and praying to him every day? Is your path easy? If your path is easy, if your walk is easy, you might be on the wrong path. Do you need to check yourself? Like I had to check myself. And I don't expect answers. This is something you need to personally do. Check yourself. Check your walk. I'm going to try to do better. I'm going to try to take the I out of this YouTube channel. And I'm going to do my best to put God back into it. It's his channel. Said that in the beginning. And he ain't the one that messed it up. I am. I'm the one that started making it about me. I'm the one that started getting caught up in the numbers. How many views have I had? How many subscribers do I have? Ooh, all the numbers, all the numbers. Ooh, worldly stuff. I ain't gonna worry about it. Whoever watches, watches. Whoever subscribes, subscribes. Hopefully the good Lord will use this the YouTube channel to his benefit. Hopefully it will reach out and touch some people. And touching people don't mean that they have to be non-Christians. Might be something in one of the videos that is a message to you. Maybe something I say will strike that nerve with you. And if it does, guess what? It might be a message from the Father. It might be something he's wanting to tell you. We need to check ourselves. The world ain't getting no better. Ain't getting no better at all. And no, I ain't gonna sit here and holler how we're all doomed tomorrow. The world ends at such and such date. Now, I will tell you that there's one guarantee in life. That's death. Sooner or later, we're all gonna die. I have some very near and dear people that have taught me that in the last few years. That has brought death even closer reality to me. But we are going to die. When we die, according to what I believe, I'm going to be held accountable. I want to try to have some kind of defense. I want to say that, Lord, I tried. Forgive me for falling short. But I was trying. And every day I need to try to do better. I don't want to be the best in the world, but I want to be better than I was yesterday. Christians ain't perfect, but I can be better than I was yesterday. I need to get myself checked off. That's my word for tonight. It's gotten late on me. I need to go to bed. Got trucking to do tomorrow. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Need to remember to pray. Have fellowship with the Lord. And that's all he's really after, is us to have fellowship with him. You don't need to be afraid, embarrassed, intimidated, or anything else to talk to God and Jesus. All you got to do is start talking. Start praying. And I'm trying to teach the teacher. I'm trying to teach myself. Y'all remember, God loves you, so do I. Let's check ourselves. Let's get ourselves back on the right path. Y'all have a blessed evening now. Good night.